Hello everybody, and guess what? It is Monday. I know that kind of sucks, but it is Monday. But to make your Monday better, I am here, me, Dan Edge, and as always, when it comes to Life Downloaded, it wouldn't be a Life Downloaded without my glamorous, glorious podwife, the amazing Samantha Rank. Say hi, Sam.
Well, good morning, everybody, and good morning, my Dan. Hi, how are we? I actually posted something talking about Monday, and then I was like, "Is it Monday? What day are we on?" I am having one of those weeks.
Yeah, and it's
All
only
right,
just started. It's only
I'm
just
looking
started.
fabulous. I just had my chest looks very flattered
It,
in this beautiful top.
it is
My
looking
light
rather ample and well
I
formed.
know, right?
Mm.
And I've been posting a lot about my clothes that I've been buying, and these are from like Zara Kids. So honestly, you can make anything look a little bit, adult if you've got the right curvy bits in the right places.
Apparently so. I mean, I wouldn't know, having not that many curvy bits
No,
myself, but
no bumps, so bumps or lumps anywhere there, Dan.
well, not in the same places that yours are, my dear.
Oh, that's disappointing. Sorry, listeners and viewers. It took me all of 5 seconds to talk about my anatomy, which is about standard for me, isn't it? But yes, hello, happy Monday. I hope we're all doing well. If I seem a little bit erratic, that's because I'm probably still under the influence of my pain medication for my sciatica. So if anyone struggles with sciatica, I feel your pain. It is pretty darn rubbish. I did not sleep well at all last night, and I
Boo.
took some pain meds quite late on last night, just in the hope of drifting off to sleep. But yeah, they've made me a little bit spaced out, I suppose. I can still talk for England, so that's not too bad, is it, Dan?
Well, that's good, because if you couldn't, it would be a very boring, one-sided episode of Life Downloaded. And
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure many people would rather just see your beautiful face.
oh,
Um,
I think you put me far too up the pole of importance. Um,
Oh my goodness! So I know we've not been around for quite some time, but I think like everything, it's just our lives. Even though we're not going out and about because we are both still shielding, although a little less shielding than normal. But yeah, it's still a strange old time, and I think weeks just merge into one, and so we have been a little bit lazy, lackadaisy when it comes to bringing you life downloaded. However, I am going to be going back to my flat in London, fingers crossed, next Saturday. So
adventures.
I know, which is going to be great because for those of you that have been following our journey during lockdown, I normally live in central London. I've got a lovely bespoke adapted apartment, which is fantastic. I can be, 100% independent. But I took the decision to leave that place because of the proximity to how close I was to the I suppose a hotspot, as it were, of the pandemic. So I moved back home to rural Lancashire to be with my mum, who is a nurse, which is fantastic. But the house that I'm in right now, it really isn't very accessible. So although it's been great, I think it's definitely taken its toll on a little bit of my mental health, just kind of that feeling of self worth and wanting to make your own cup of tea and not having to maybe ask every time you need something. So that's definitely impacted on my work in the sense that if I do anything on camera, it's more of a faff because I can't actually get in and out of the shower myself. I kind of need to rely on someone. And God bless my mum, she gets really, really bad migraines, really quite debilitating migraines. So the two of us together have really had to muddle on through. So my original point was once I am back in London in my environment, I'll be cracking the whip, so to speak, and we will definitely be doing our live downloaded live stream more regularly. Um,
Yes.
just because it's just going to be so much easier for me, which is nice. I think I do need a little bit more routine in my life. But Dan, you have been let loose,
I have.
so to
I,
speak.
I have been,
Um,
well,
lots of
let
lots
more
of
loose.
let more loose, and you've been able to visit your significant. Can I speak? Significant other?
No, there you go.
Correct?
Big
Yeah,
words.
there
Big
you go.
words for a Monday.
There you go. I did say earlier your GIF,
My Jiff,
and
my
you were
Jeff.
like, my Jeff,
Yeah,
your
well,
Jeff, not your Jeff, your
no,
GF, your
my
girlfriend.
GF. That's
So
it.
has that been lovely? Does it feel like you've been apart for so long, or was it like just dead natural?
Ah, well, it was really nice because we are now officially, as the government in the UK puts it, bubbling.
Is that what it's called?
Yes, bubbling. Because you can share a bubble of people that you can
I don't want
socialise
to
with.
share any bubbles. Thank you very
Do you
much.
not? Are you not
Get out
feeling
of
the
my
bubble
bubble.
sharing?
Got to pay to
Um,
get in my bubble.
hey. Because my girlfriend lives on her own, well, bar the cats, and so that meant we were allowed to bubble and see one another, and we hadn't seen each other for 13, 14 weeks, so it was pretty awesome to be able
Amazing.
to see each other again. We actually made an appearance on the BBC coronavirus newscast,
Love it.
talking about how we were going to be bubbling and seeing each other for the first time. I finally got to give my girlfriend her Easter egg.
Hang on, wait. Just be careful where you go there. It is only like 12 noon. So, what
Yeah,
did you give your girlfriend?
Easter egg. Easter egg, my dear.
Oh, thank goodness! I thought you were going to be all, PG-13 there, but you played it safe. You played
Indeed,
it
I
safe.
played it safe on the BBC, as well. They said, "What's the first thing we're going to do?" I said, "Be very BBC and hug." That was
BBC. God bless the BBC. I do love the BBC.
indeed.
That's exciting. Then I'm really glad you got to kind of get some sort of normality back in your life. Um,
Yes.
yeah, I don't have a significant other, so I'm definitely on my own. But that's okay because I do have a cat, and that's fine. And I just read something about cats, which I found very, very fascinating.
What's that, my dear?
And yes, and so I always knew that cats, when they purr, it's obviously a sign of affection or a sign of that they're happy and content. But it's
Mm-hmm.
also if a cat is injured, they will purr because the vibrations will actually help fast track the healing process.
Okay.
So I always knew that, which is fascinating. But obviously, dug a little deeper, and it can be very beneficial for humans who
Oh.
obviously spend a lot of time with their cats. And I have literally become a cat. And because I've got brittle bones, it actually says that the frequency of the vibrations of the purring can actually benefit bone density, which I found fascinating. And even though some of you might be thinking, what a load of poppycock, all this stupid holistic crap. But actually, when I've been to a number of annual general meetings or seminars for people with osteogenesis, which is my condition, or brittle bone condition, there are a number of kind of not hydro, kind of therapies that will use plates, vibrating plates that can improve bone density. Now they probably do have a correct name for these plates, but the premise is that you sit on these plates, or you put your fractured your fractured leg or whatever, and it kind of
Mm.
slowly puts vibrations for your body. So I found that really fascinating. I'm only telling this story because I'm trying to justify myself of buying like 5 more cats. That is
Now you see,
me.
my girlfriend is often trying to justify to me why she should have more cats.
Yeah.
Often, she already has 4.
Yeah, that's just being greedy. I've got the one.
Hey.
I say, don't be so greedy. Let other people have a bit of the fun. But no, I find that really. I mean, I've very much become in tune with animals and nature since the lockdown. I think that's what's been quite beautiful, coming away from a city to the countryside, and obviously having a cat in general to combat loneliness, or any kind of animal. Oh, cough away there, my love, cough away.
Sorry, my
And as
apologies.
I've actually once we go back to normality, I definitely want to continue and helping kind of a lot of charities that have been helping animals through this difficult time. So I'm terrible. I've been like giving like donations to like all these I don't know all these not even been drinking. I've been giving like loads of donations to all these like dog sanctuaries out in the middle of nowhere, that like save dogs from the side of the road. So I don't know who I've become. I've become this very empathic person, not towards other humans because I don't particularly like humans right now. Definitely like animals.
But you're supporting the animals in lockdown.
I'm supporting the animals, and I feel like the universe is telling me that I need to help animals more.
No, nothing wrong with supporting the animals in lockdown at all. Animals need love too. To be honest, I am personally excited by the news that come out today.
What is that?
From the Culture Secretary, that finally the government are going to give £1.57 billion to help support the arts here in
Yay.
the UK. Finally. Obviously, the devil is in the detail, so I'm not too excited yet. But
don't get too excited prematurely.
Indeed, the devil is in the detail, as they say. But as somebody that's campaigned so that the arts, quite frankly, and I am being very frank, doesn't die on its arse because of coronavirus, this is very much welcome. So this is exciting times.
Perfect, because you do a lot of work for Equity, which is the union for those within the performing arts
industry. Trade union, yeah.
And I did my own little monologue, didn't I?
You did.
Very, very off the cuff monologue. Like scrape something together very quickly. I'm quite proud of it. But yeah, you are right. And I actually was on BBC You and Yours to discuss obviously the campaign We Shall Not Be Removed.
Yes.
By Andrew Miller.
Yeah. Well, he's one of many.
Yeah, he is one of many, but I think he was one of the founding kind of creators of the movement, and obviously he helped push an open letter. But it's a weird one because, of course, we need to safeguard, our institutions. Not only, do they give us this sense of pride and belonging, and it's great. Like theatre is something that everyone should be able to enjoy, and obviously that's how a lot of us make our money, through the arts. But I couldn't help but question sometimes when I saw people being interviewed who were very established within the industry, when other means of going about delivering theatre or productions were offered on the table. So, for example, open theatre, in parks and things like that, which would be great because let's face it, theatre isn't always accessible for people. It can be too expensive. Getting there can be a lot, or even just if you've got a wheelchair, it can be a nightmare. I went to one theatre and my wheelchair was too wide for the lift. You know what I mean? So, but a lot of the attitudes were a little bit dismissive, and I think sometimes that irritates me a little bit about the arts. It's like, okay, put down your old-fashioned views, and I know that watching theatre on your iPad, isn't going to be the same as going there. I appreciate that, but we are in times where we need to think outside of the box, and there's, even regardless of a pandemic, there's still going to be people that just will not be able to physically access, these amazing kind of performances. So are you going to let your kind of, how do we say it in English? In German, it's Hochnase, snobbiness. How are you going to let that kind of, why are you smirking, you little git?
I'm just enjoying the fact that, you can. I'm enjoying your linguistic skill to be able to switch through multiple languages.
Ich kann auch Deutsch lernen, wenn wir wollen. Ja, is that okay?
Yeah, indeed. Totally.
No, heute nicht. So yeah, I found that really interesting. What are your kind of thoughts on that? Because obviously some things have got to give. Some things have got to give if we are really serious about saving the arts.
Yeah. I would, play the flip side of that and say, for as many people that say theatres aren't accessible, and they're not, and they should be, and I will fight to that till there is no breath left in my body. At the same time, what a lot of people forget when they're having the arts conversation, and a lot of people that automatically go, oh, it's just for posh people, it's this, it's that, it's the other.
Yeah.
Don't forget all the TIE that goes into school, all the theatre in education.
Totally.
Don't forget all the theatre that you claim not to have watched, but you will have seen in the theatre and circus fields at Glastonbury. Don't forget, the street festivals that happen in your town, or your local arts centre that you happen to go into for a coffee, but you never watch a production. That's all arts as well, and that's what this funding is also for. It's not necessarily all for the Royal Ballet that you're never going to go see and you think, well, I'm never going to watch that, so why are we giving it money? You've got to think about arts as a big, wide thing. I mean, it also covers museums and art galleries, and I mean, I love the Natural History Museum. That is part of this arts funding. All these kinds of places are parts of arts funding, and I think that's what people forget. We talk about theatre because theatre is vitally important. It really is, more so than people give it credit for. But theatre also covers a wide gambit. It's not just about the West End musicals in London. It's about the panto that goes into your kid's school, or the theatre and education show about bullying that goes into your kid's school, or like I say, if you're in a town where they've had, for example, the Wallace and Gromit statues, or they did statues of shoes in my town that were all themed about things. That's all the arts as well. Yeah. The arts has a massive, massive remit, and that's why it's so important that it's saved. And this is why I say I welcome the funding, but I want to read the fine print, because I want to see where that funding is going to go.
Oh, I completely agree with you. And, I'm a patron of a charity, Head to Head Theatre Company. I mean, they are, a very, very small charity, but what they do is they deliver multisensory theatre to children with a variety of complex learning disabilities or sensory cognitive disabilities, and even just what they've been doing during the pandemic. To bring multisensory theatre to children has been, and also to their siblings. I think they really, understand that siblings need to be involved in all the work that they do. But even seeing them struggle has been kind of heartbreaking for me, because I believe in what they do, and I believe that what they bring to so many young children in particular, and again their families, is so important. And it's kind of heartbreaking for me to see that. I think I completely agree with everything that you've said, and I think we've got a very tunnel vision of what we constitute as the arts, and that is once again mostly down to what we see on TV and the news, etc. It's still seen very much as an elitist, kind of medium to a medium. But yeah, it is much more than that, and I am part of that. Even though I've not been on stage for quite some time, I still understand the value and respect everyone, because it really is one of them. You don't get a lot of money doing what you do, but those that are loyal to the industry, you can see the passion, and it is heartbreaking. Again, going back to my original point, I think just for me, we definitely need to have everyone's 2 pence. Everyone needs to kind of chip in and say, how is this going to happen? And what I've been seeing, on TV right now is has been very, very narrow view. And it's still been a very elitist view, and I think that's where we maybe go wrong.
Well, that's why you and I need to be on TV more.
Oh yes, please.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
That's why we need to be talked to more.
Oh my goodness! Talking about television and how it can, kind of be very tunnel vision. I wrote a post on my Instagramio because obviously it is Disability Pride Month.
I know you've made me more aware of. I knew Disability Pride Month existed. It seems to have got much bigger this year, which is always good.
Yeah. So I actually did a little video for Disability Brighton, just because obviously it wasn't going ahead, and I will definitely make. We should go down next year. We'll definitely do that. So big
we'll
up
do
to
a
the-
live downloaded from Disability
Yes.
Pride.
Oh my god! Can you imagine? Let's
Should we
let's
do it?
do
Should we
this.
see if we can do that?
But yeah, I'm kind of trying to up my kind of information on social media about what it means to have disability pride and share some more of my life experiences. And I think what I've been noticing more and more on telly, when we talk about disability, we haven't seen all the really rubbish stuff. We haven't seen all the people struggling without care, or shielding and not getting enough food, and we haven't really been seeing enough of that, I don't think, but the reality of what disabled people are facing right now. But what we have been seeing is a lot of inspiration porn.
Yes.
Dan, can you summarize what inspiration porn is for anyone that isn't aware?
Yes. Inspiration porn. Don't get excited. We're not all naked.
Yeah.
Well, we're not all naked. Inspiration porn is basically the objectification of disabled people for non-disabled people's benefit. So, an example I always use, there used to be a picture that flew around social media of a young lad playing football that had two false legs, and it would have the words, "What's your excuse?" underneath it. Now, that's inspiration porn, because somebody is trying to go, look at what this amazing young kid is doing. He's got no legs and he still plays football. What's your excuse? Why are you still sat on the sofa? La 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 la. He's just a young kid wanting to play football. The fact that he's got two false legs is irrelevant.
Exactly. It's his norm. At the end of the day, it's his norm. He doesn't wake up and go, "Oh my god, I'm inspirational because I'm playing football."
Exactly.
He's just bloody doing it.
Yeah. Or soccer for anybody that's watching us in the States.
So I've been seeing quite a lot of that on television. I don't want to pick apart these people because a lot of them, what I'm seeing, are young kids. Kind of doing. I suppose yeah, I don't want to diminish the fact that they're doing amazing things.
No.
I'm not. That's not what I'm talking about. However, for me, it's this, again, what you said, this objectifying of disabled people. Like, we want to feel good about ourselves, so we'll get a picture of a kid that hasn't walked and now they're walking, and hurrah, and that just brought back quite a lot of memories for me as a child. And you'll be the same. You are a part-time wheelchair user, Dan.
Yes.
So I've got brittle bones, and although I've got brittle bones, and for me to walk, it will put an immense pressure on my legs, and it's I've never really walked. When I was little, when I was like tiny, there was no reason for me not to be able to walk. Like a lot of all the kids with my condition had that instinct of like pulling themselves up.
Yeah.
Like when you see like toddlers like walking along the sofa, Oh, I never had that. And my mum was like, "Yeah, you were a really lazy child." I was like, okay, was I lazy or was I just really intelligent? Maybe I was really intelligent, that I knew that walking just wasn't for me. And I think there's pressure on disabled people who are wheelchair users to get up and walk. I mean, I've had numerous comments going, "Oh, wouldn't it be great if you could walk? Isn't it a shame that you can't walk?" I'm following a new mum on social media. She's just had a little boy called Jackson who's got brittle bones. They're in America. She's like this amazing influencer, and that's what she's struggling with, because little Jackson's like, I think, under 6 months old, but all the questions are constantly centered around, well, is he going to walk? Is he going to walk? When's he going to walk? What if he doesn't walk? And I think there's just so much pressure that to have this like wheelchair bad, walking good.
Yeah.
For me, I'm like under 4 foot tall. If I was walking around with brittle bones, it'd be quite scary.
Mm.
You know, I wouldn't be able to reach half of what I can reach now. So I did this little post about just changing the perspective of when we look at wheelchairs and bringing it back to Disability Pride Month. You know, I'm proud to be a wheelchair user. I'm not wheelchair bound. I'm a wheelchair user.
Yeah.
You know, my wheelchair enables me to live my best life. You know, and it's kind of pretty darn comfy. It's leather. It's like a Lamborghini, mate.
Well, this is it.
You know what I mean?
You know, I was having this discussion with my lovely lady over the weekend because there was a post from somebody I follow on Twitter, and I can't remember for the life of me who it is, and I apologise. And they're another wheelchair user, and they said they were tired of seeing this picture floating around social media and the internet, and it's basically, sadly, it's a memorial. It's a gravestone of a young person that's died.
Right.
But in the memorial, it is a statue of the young person leaving their wheelchair
Oh my god.
and being free. Now, yeah, I struggle with this because it's a case of, for you, for me, for the majority of wheelchair users, the wheelchair is something of liberation.
Yeah.
You know, I can walk. I do walk. I walk I walk every day. But the wheelchair that I use enables me to travel distances further than I could imagine walking.
Mm-hmm.
And it allows me to do it pain-free, effort-free, and
Unless
just
it's not a ramp.
unless there's not a ramp. But that's a different story. But you know, it enables me to do it with less effort, less pain, less strain. Not that I'm in huge amounts of pain all the time, I don't claim to be. But if I start walking long distances, then I am.
Would you say also you feel a little bit safer, as in, like in a crowded environment? I always feel like my chair like really kind of like protects me a little bit rather than you standing, because I know you still use some support when you're walking.
I do. I use a couple of sticks. They're very
Yeah.
glamorous. No, they're not.
They're a little bit.
They're not. I want to work with the lovely Daniel Melville, who we had on a couple of podcasts ago, to try and make some more glamorous sticks. It's on our list of things to do.
Totally.
But yeah, no, I do use sticks outside. You know, in my house, I walk furniture surfing / unaided, so I'll lean on walls and furniture.
Yeah, you do that in my house, and I've got a really wobbly table, and I always say to you, Dan, whatever you do, don't lean on the effing table. And what do? Every single time. I have like visions of you and the table and everything anyway, that's not the point. But
yeah, you know,
yeah.
now that I've been berated, that's fine.
Yes, I know. Naughty boy.
Slap wrist. But yeah, no. So you know, I furniture surf and lean on walls and stuff, or outside I use sticks. But yeah, in terms of safety, if I'm in a bigger, more crowded environment, my chair is the safest place for me to be, because my CP affects balance, coordination. So if I'm sat down, I'm generally a hell of a lot more balanced. So nobody's going to knock me over, nobody's going to send me flying, you know. It's just going to generally be more balanced.
I'm totally listening to what you're saying. I was just trying to find that lovely family who have got the OI child, and I think I love following them, not only because obviously I feel, you know, a bit biased because it's great, there's a connection, but also I just think how some of these mums are using social media to definitely project a much more positive and authentic story of disability. Something that, you know, when we were growing up, we definitely didn't have that opportunity, and our parents just kind of mullered along thinking they were the only ones and probably not getting the support that they needed or deserved. So if you if you want to follow this lovely family, I mean, her Instagram's just like epic anyway. Oh, poop. But lost it again.
Mm-hmm.
Just do some filler for me. Let's have a look. Okay, so
Filling, dancing and singing.
So the lovely lady is called Abby Story, but their handle is and so the story begins. And so the story begins, and it's just lovely. Like they just seem like a really beautiful family anyway. And oh, it's Hanson, not Jackson. Oh my, so bad. That's a little boy, and they've got a little daughter as well. And it's just really refreshing to see just a very raw, life story of how a family who weren't expecting to have a child with a disability are now kind of getting on with their lives, and it's really interesting to watch the interactions she has with people that are still in this very blinkered, because she does like regular question times every day, and some of the questions I'm just like I mean, God bless her. She's like proper powering through. So definitely go and watch her. So that's Abby, and her handle is and so the story begins. Go and show her some love. Love, love, love.
Cool.
Love, love. Have we actually got anyone listening to us today?
We've had a couple of people say hi. They're generally quiet, but Rick says hi. Joe B said hi, Sam. Are you back in London? No, she's not yet. We did talk about that earlier.
I know you, Joe B.
I don't know. Could be many Joe B's. There's no picture, so I can't.
Joe B. That's worrying.
The mysterious Joe B. I'm sure they're lovely.
Make yourself known.
I'm sure they're lovely. I don't know if they're still watching, but they said hi.
No, I'm not yet, but hopefully next Saturday. Oh, I've got my new sofa as well, so that's really exciting.
Oh, is that actually... Sorry, we're being very friend-based now. Is that actually in your house now?
I've got a new... Look at me. So look how like boss lady I am. I'm not even at my home, but I have managed to sell my old sofa, get my old sofa picked up, buy a new sofa, get that delivered, and everything is going to be perfect for when I get home. Are you not impressed?
I am.
I organised all that from 200 miles away.
Yeah, I managed to get out of bed this morning. I'll take that as a win.
Inspiration porn right there for you. Well done, Dan.
Yeah,
well done.
Way.
You're wearing a headband. Didn't even. Can we explain the headband?
The headband. I'm channeling my inner South American footballer. No, I'm not. Basically, my hair has become so long due to lockdown that my fringe is sort of down here.
Wow.
So I'm literally wearing a headband to keep it out of my eyes.
And you have been posting some pictures of characters that you've been looking like. So you did Wolverine today. So how can people stalk you, Dan, and see all your different hairstyles?
My hair in different phases of lockdown, be that George Michael, Johnny Bravo, or Wolverine.
There we go. We need to do another one today. Let's do some weird footballer that is really annoying. I can think of a few.
I don't know if I'm quite long enough yet. I think it needs a bit more length before I go full South American footballer.
I do appreciate it.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, obviously social media flashes up, but if you do want to follow me, it's at Dan_Edge pretty much everywhere. Sam is, of course, at Sam Rank in most places. There you go.
Samantha actually on Instagram. I don't know why I had to be awkward.
Yeah, why were you awkward, Sam?
No, I think I set up my Twitter, and I always like, right, it needs to be Sam because it's short, because it's easier. Because you know, one of my biggest pet peeves
is somebody that has a really long Instagram handle that takes up like
not even
characters.
It's like not even their name, so you don't even know how to find them.
Yes.
Oh, just use your name. So I kind of just used Sam Rank on Twitter because it was short, but then I went for this whole phase of I want to be Samantha, darling. I want to be Samantha, getting all posh. So I changed most things, but you can't change your Twitter handle, can you?
Yeah.
No, you can't. You can change the top, but not when you search.
Hang on.
You know, like what says on your profile, you can have whatever you want, but the actual @ thing, I swear you can't change it.
Hang on. Hang on.
This
I'm
is
literally, for those, I've got my phone in my hand now. I'm not being
this is
rude.
really going to be very interesting for everyone watching now or listening.
Indeed.
I swear you can't do it. So you can change like at the top when it says whoever you are, you can change that, but you can't physically change the oh, I don't know what it's called, like
The
the text,
handle,
like
your
the
Instagram
handle. Is it a handle?
Yeah.
Is that what it is? I'm so old. I sound like a grandma going, is it a handle? I don't know what it is. Should I just start singing while you're doing that?
Yeah, you can change it.
Can you?
Yeah,
Don't lie to me.
you can.
Right, I'm going to do this later. This is
Look,
very
look.
upsetting.
Hang on. Let me. There you go.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
Read the screen. Read the screen.
I don't believe you. Right, I'm going to do that later then. Well, will I change it? Should I change it?
It's up to you, love.
Samantha? Or is Sam just easier?
Well, Sam takes up less characters on a tweet.
That's true. It's so confusing. Anyway, I'm just going to stick with it. So yeah, so what was the original question? Oh yeah, so I'm at Sam rank or at Samantha rank.
You can also change it on Instagram if you want to match, as long as nobody else has got
I
it.
like having Samantha, but it is quite lengthy, isn't it? And I've got my new what's it called, website coming up.
Well, you see,
and I'm like Samantha Rank Official, which is a mouthful, but I just like it.
well, that's fair. But when it comes to social media handles, I try and.
It's small.
No, it's not that it's small, but I try and use the same one across as many networks as I can.
That's true. Maybe I should change it.
Because
Right, I'm going to do that in a minute.
Because then you can just be like, oh yeah, I'm at Sam Rank on Instagram, Twitter, and you don't have to list like half a dozen.
That's true. Well, I mean, everywhere else is consistent, and let's face it, there's not that many ranks going around, is there? So
No. See, I haven't got it with me, but in lockdown I did one sort of very cool business thing. I've got new business cards.
Oh, amazing!
Yeah.
Good lad. Lad.
And yeah,
That's probably really condescending. We love each other. We respect one another. Everyone that's listening. That
Indeed.
wasn't patronising. I am genuinely chuffed.
Yeah.
That you've done that.
So, but you know me, I'm a bit of a techie. So
You are.
my business card, all you have to do is tap it with your phone, and all my details come up on your phone. And you
I
can
want
send
that.
them. I
Will
know.
you make me some?
I can show you where I got them from.
Do you not want to design mine for me?
Well, it's not really much to design. It's just like a plain white card with your name on it, and then you add all the information.
That's so interesting.
Mm.
On that note, because it now feels like we're just having a chat about random stuff with no focus, and I'm sure this is thrilling for anyone watching or listening. And I'm, I actually need a wee. And also, I did tell my mum to go to McDonald's because she popped out to go and run some errands.
Ooh.
And I was like,
is this your first McDonald's since they've opened?
Well, I now doubt she's got it. I bet she just thinks I was joking, which I'm going to be really upset about.
See, what is the first takeaway you had since, like, takeaway was eased? You've not?
I've not.
Well done, Sam.
I've not had anything. I've not had any, and I'm really worried. I've been able to like put some savings aside and everything because I've just not been like buying random stuff. Although, I don't know why I'm whispering. What I have done, I've been like ordering stuff from eBay because I'm anticipating being really depressed when I go back home. Like just because of like all the emotions.
Yeah, well, you're back home and you're on your own. And
I don't use that word lightly. I do struggle with depression, so it's not me just being flippant. But I know that because I've been in this bubble and now I'm going to be on my own in London. I already know that
it's going to be a bit of a culture shock.
It's going to take its toll on me. So I've kind of like just been buying like things secondhand on eBay and getting them sent. And my PA, she's been having to go around every week to take them out my letterbox and hide them in my cupboard. Because when my mum drops me off, I can't have all these parcels all over the house. She literally shoves them.
I love the fact that you've tried to hide this from your mum.
She's probably like listening outside my door right now, which is great. So that's that. But anyway, yeah, so I've not had a takeaway, but I'm really worried because I've got all these apps on my phone when I go back to London because I live so central that you can get anything. So no, I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be good. I need to lose a little bit of weight because I think that's what's probably causing some of my pain right now because I'm just carrying a little bit more weight than I should. Yeah, putting a bit more strain on my body, which is fine. Which is fine. You know, it is what it is.
Mm.
But anyway, I do. Should we just cut it off while we're ahead?
Yeah, I mean, guys, you know, when it comes to Life Downloaded, you never know what we're going to talk about. And
We used to be so good. We used to be so, perfectionists.
but the thing is, like, I think, you know, Life Downloaded is one of those things that it is a window into our lives and our industry and our impairments. And, you know, we started this because we are good friends. And we are good friends that haven't seen each other.
Most of the time.
Most of the time. When have we not been good friends?
No, that's true. I don't think we've ever had a quarrel. And then you bought me chocolates at Christmas, and then I loved you even more. There you go.
See?
Way to a girl's heart. Chocolate with alcohol in.
I did the double, you see.
You did the double.
I did the drink and the chocolate.
There you go. Winning.
But yeah, you know, so you also get a bit of information about us being friends. And I think that's kind of why a lot of people come and listen, because they realise that we're genuine and that we're honest. And yeah. So I think it's fine that we talk about takeout.
Yes. No, it is totally. It
and
is totally.
Sam's secret shopping habit that she's not telling them about.
I feel quite ashamed about saying that right now. I really do. Like, I'm just going to have this, like, mountain of, like, parcels, which is kind of exciting. It's like Christmas. I'm going to open one every day.
Nice. Yeah, that's like a weird summer advent calendar.
Yeah, a weird summer. But I've probably spent under £100 on everything that I bought, which is quite nice. Because, I mean, if I was in London, I'd be spending, you know, like, even just go grab a coffee here, there and everywhere. That's already, like, you know, panini and a coffee, that's £8 gone. So I feel like I can justify myself going and buying secondhand stuff on eBay and a lot of cat toys. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, you know, Lola needs entertaining.
Lola needs entertaining with a new sofa, because if she scratches it,
yeah,
hell to pay.
We'll have to start Sofa Watch.
Sofa Watch. Just stick I've got a camera, you know. Like, I should just, like, put a live stream constantly, and people can text me if she goes to...
Everybody watch my cat. If she scratches the sofa, let me know.
I've literally not even paid off my sofa yet, so I think that's why I feel a bit like, don't you dare scratch it, because it's still on the credit card. Anyway, on that note, really do need a wee, which is great.
Standard Life Downloaded behaviour.
Yeah, and my agent has just messaged me, which is always exciting.
Yes, hopefully all things good.
Work.
Tell him that I say hi, because he's
probably listening, because I know he's a big fan.
Indeed. But tell him I say hi, even if he's not listening. And tell him I've said it to him already, but he mentioned us in something he was interviewed for the other day. So yeah, he mentioned Life Downloaded. He is.
You know he's a good agent when they actually, you know, mention the work that you do.
It's always good.
It always helps. But next time we will be face to face, I'll be back in my apartment.
Yes, yeah.
You can all see my new sofa. Exciting times.
Indeed. We'll see if I can, you know, transport all this live streaming stuff to Shea Rank. I'm sure it'll be fine. If you know I'm allowed to travel at that point.
Yes.
Because that still might dictate. But
exactly. But we can do like what we're doing now. It's fine.
Indeed. Either way, next episode of Life Downloaded, Sam shall be back in Shea Rank. I wonder if they finished all the building work.
Oh my goodness, don't even get me started. I really hope so. That is one thing I do not miss, is the building work in London. Breathe. Breathe. I'm already getting, like, anxious about thinking about it. Being back in a city. Isn't that sad?
It'll be fine.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
You will get there and you'll be like, house.
I know, right? I know. I think it's all that built-up anticipation, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Never as bad as you think. Right, I really am going to wet myself.
Okay, so to avoid social embarrassment, I have been Dan Edge. As always, I am joined by the lovely with full bladder right now.
Yeah, with full bladder.
Samantha
That's
Rank.
the rank. Oh, and Kermit in the background.
Thankful as always that you listen and watch and enjoy. We will be back for another episode very soon. Take care of yourselves, look after yourselves,
Thank
have
you
fun, be
guys.
safe,
Look after yourself. Be safe.
and we'll see you soon. Bye bye, everybody.
Bye.